Enjoy the journey of learning with Anil Kumar. In this video, we are going to take up three different questions which are based on computer literacy. We'll try to understand how do we write a code for solving a problem. These codes are called pseudocode. Those of you who are preparing for EQAO in grade 9, they will find this set of questions very interesting and useful. You can always send me an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com if you need PDF copy of our questions. We are going to answer three questions which will give you a fairly good idea about how do we get these questions right in the test. So here is question number 1 and then we'll show you question number 2 which will involve two variables, and then question number 3 where we are going to calculate the area of a rectangle. So let's begin with the very first problem, which is this pseudocode is written to determine the value of expression 5 less than the number if the user inputs a number. So we'll write a code now which is given to you. Based on this code, there are four multiple choice questions. Number n equals to 0, output enter the number, store user input as number n. And then here something will come which has been missing. Output 5 less than the number is difference. Select the correct line of code to complete this pseudocode. So there are four options. One of them is right, which will go right there in this blank space. You need to pause the video, answer the question. Let's try to understand the pseudocode itself. In the very first statement, we are defining a variable which is number n and initializing it to 0. It is a very important step because sometimes if you don't initialize your variables, they may take up some random value. Next statement is output statement, and whatever is written in inverted commas will be displayed on the screen. So it is displayed on the screen, enter the number, a prompt for the user to enter the number. Store user input as number n. So once the user inputs the number, that number is stored in our initialized variable number n. So the number n has the number which was entered by the user. Then here we have to write a code what to do with this number n, right? The problem is 5 less than the number is what we need to figure out. Then once we do that, then the output is 5 less than the number is difference. So difference is another variable which gets its value from the number inputted by the user. You get the whole idea now. So what should come here? So difference is what we need to define. So difference is 5 minus number n, or B, which is difference is number n minus 5, or C or D, which are number n equals to difference minus 5, difference minus number n equals to 5. Perfect. Since we want to know 5 less than the number, difference should be number minus 5. So this means 5 less than the number is the difference. And that value gets into our variable difference, which is displayed as the answer 5 less than the number is difference. So I hope you clearly understood option B is the right option and why it is so. And you have also understood how to write a pseudocode for such a problem. Got it. Now let's take up the solution of question number 2. Question here is, this pseudocode is written to determine if the number is greater than 10 or not. So the code starts with number A equals to 0, number B equals to 10, output, enter the number, store user number as number A, if. So that is if and else conditional statement, if what. And this has to be filled by the four choices given to you. If something, output the number is greater than 10. Else, output the number is not greater than 10. Correct? So that becomes the part of the code which has been indented. Correct. Now you need to select the correct line of code to complete this pseudocode. Four options are given to you. So you have to be careful in selecting. It's not a difficult question at all. I hope you have made the selection. We are looking for the number which is greater than 10, and look at the variable which is taking user's input, right? So number B is 10, number A is what should be greater than B, right? So we want number A to be greater than B, and therefore option A becomes the right option. I hope you have understood, right? So in the first phase, number A is a variable which has been initialized to 0. Number B is the other variable, but it has been initialized with 10. When the user enters a number, that number is stored in variable A, so that is the number which we want to check if it is greater than 10 or not. Perfect. So that's the whole idea. Once you understand the statement, then there is no problem in answering the question. I hope the question is answered and you have understood the concept. Let's take another problem which is similar. Now, here the question is, this pseudocode will be used to determine area of a rectangle if the user inputs its length and width. You know the formula for area is length times width, right? Now, EQA sheet also gives you a formula. So, if somehow, if there is a difficult formula which you don't remember, refer to this sheet. Okay, great. So, here the code starts. Length L equals to 0, width W equals to 0. So in first two lines, we have initialized the two variables length L and width W. Output, enter the value of length L. So user is going to enter some number, store user number in length L. So that number is now associated with the variable length L. Output, enter the value of width W. So this time width has been entered by the user and store user input as width W, and that is stored in width W. So output, the area of the rectangle is area. So area is a variable which will be outputted here. What is that? You have to now select the correct line of code to complete this pseudocode. Right. So four options again are given to you. Carefully look at them. Area, you know, is length into width. So you have to do product of these two, and therefore option A is the right option. The whole idea here is to understand the coding part, how the variables are initialized, how are they associated values, how are we prompting a user to provide inputs, and how do we print the solution on the screen as an output. I hope this concept is clear. In the next set, we are going to take slightly more difficult questions. I hope you are enjoying this journey of learning. In case you want to learn more, you can always send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.